I'd like to wrap up with a quick fire round of short answer questions. What's the most important skill to master?
Most important skill to master is negotiating.
The biggest deal you missed out on?
Buying a stake in Twitter when I had the cash.
The easiest way to make money?
Easiest way to make money? I would say the stock exchange, but it's also losing money. The easiest way to lose money.
Now, on a deal, would you prefer to split 50-50 or go all in?
What do you mean split 50-50?
Hedge your risks,
No, all in.
Deep research reports or gut instinct?
God instinct.
Favorite musician?
I have to find, I would say, Ed Sheeran.
Underrated country with huge potential?
Egypt.
When you move, big entourage or fly solo?
Solo.
Your go-to song when DJing?
I like house music, so it's difficult to say, but
Great.
there's one or two songs in house that are.
Stellar idea, average team, or stellar team, average idea?
Stellar team, average idea.
True or false? AI will take the jobs of financial analysts.
Yes.
True. Pick one. Expand to Southeast Asia, India, or Sub-Saharan Africa?
It depends on the industry. But
These days, which of those markets are you feeling?
Southeast Asia.
Okay. Any reason?
I think India and Africa are great, but India's crowded and Africa is a bit early.
Great. Best tip to become a VC?
Build a company.
And the operator VC, especially in emerging markets, is more of a rare commodity.
Yes.
Now, bet on a global breakthrough tech or incremental innovation in a huge market.
Global breakthrough tech.
And the next big wave after AI.
Energy.
Great.
And you need it to power AI.
What's your personal favorite fix flavor?
Honestly, right now, it would be the Catch Me If You Can. It's the new signature blondie chocolate with caramelized pecan and biscuit for the crunch. I would say that is my top favorite at the moment.
The weirdest way you've seen someone eat a fixed chocolate?
A Japanese chef cutting it with one of the sharpest knives and serving it with rice as a sushi. I don't know if it would actually taste good.
Most unexpected place you've seen fix show up?
Real ones or fake ones?
You pick.
A fake fix, like, with art branding, would be in a random newsagent shop in Zurich that's selling, scum and some snacks. And we walk in and we see fix, but it's not fix. And it's the Dubai chocolate.
So it actually had fixed branding.
It had complete fixed branding.
Full fake.
Full fake and posters on their shop saying the Dubai chocolate fix is here. And we walked in wanting to check, like, how did this happen? But yeah, we walked in and we were like, I was telling the guy, is this the real one? He was like, yes, it's the real one. I think that was the first time we
pulled that card?
We pulled that card, to be honest. It was an awkward conversation after that.
Awkward conversations are good sometimes. Coffee with one celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be?
Who? Chris Hemsworth?
Okay, that's an interesting one. Tip for making the best brew at home?
Go get a V60.
V60.
Yeah.
What's your go-to coffee order?
Americano.
Decaf, yes or no?
No.
What's one thing people get wrong about running a coffee business?
They focus too much on ambience, less the taste.
Best business advice you've ever received?
Common purpose.
Common purpose.
Common purpose.
Tell me a little bit more.
So I spoke with the founder of Hai Di Lao. Hai Di Lao, I think, is the biggest hotpot chain in the world, right? And I asked him, how come Hai Di Lao is doing very well, and not just in China, but globally as well? Yeah. And he said there's this Chinese proverbs, right? Something along the line of common purpose, meaning that if you are in a war and the generals don't have the same common purpose as the emperor, then you're done. No way you can win the war. So you have to make sure that everyone from top to bottom have the same common purpose, then you can win a war. So it's the same in Kopi Kenangan as well, right? We are the only company in Indonesia where we give area manager ESOP or employee stock option plan, right?
So they have shares in the company.
They have shares in a company, right? Because I want them to be incentivized to make the company do well, right? So that is why it is very important for our people on the ground to have the same common purpose as myself, the CEO and co-founder. Yeah.
Common purpose.
Yeah.
Most memorable pitch you've heard in one sentence.
Autonomous. I had one word. You can tell.
One tech gadget you can't live without.
Phone.
The biggest, I wish I'd invested in that.
To be fair, we miss ByteDance many times.
Your go-to snack during long investment calls.
Right, coffee, if that's a snack. That's caffeine.
I don't know if that counts as a snack, but we'll
I could
count
do
it.
5 cups in a day.
We'll count it. If you could fund actually any startup in history, what startup would that be?
It would be SpaceX.
SpaceX. Amazing. And a book every founder should read.
Nothing on the top of it. I think right now there's no one book. You have to read widely. You have to read everything.
And where should they get their info?
Go online, across the board. I wouldn't want to name media, so
but just
not here, but
broad.
By region, if you can, by different languages, because it's very interesting how different languages and culture take the same article and translate it.
And the next big tech wave will be in?
Robots.
Most important trait of an entrepreneur.
Ooh, I think, outside of perseverance, which is obviously a little bit of a cop-out, right? Building for a purpose greater than your own.
Stocks or crypto?
Crypto.
If you could solve one problem with blockchain technology, what would it be?
Equity.
Equity.
And I don't mean it just in terms of owning something, but I actually think token ownership is actually going to be the way in which we can be stakeholders and owners in the networks that we own. So basically creating more equity for the world.
Overhyped crypto trend to avoid?
I mean, I don't know if you can avoid it, but certainly right now, meme coins are definitely overhyped. And meme coins represent all the positives and negatives of our industry, the speculative side. And so the way I tell it to people is that, look, have fun. Kind of like if you want to play a poker game, do you play it to make money or do you play it for fun?
Yeah.
And if you play it for fun, whatever, right?
Okay. Piece of advice to a younger self.
So I take the view that all the mistakes and all the things I didn't do or wanted to do or whatever so-called regrets might be, helped me shape the way that I am today. So in other words, if I went back and gave a piece of advice, then it probably would be don't change anything. Not because there wouldn't be things that I would have benefited. Like I could go back and say, buy a lot of Bitcoin, right? I mean, sure, right? But then that if I had done that, my trajectory in life would be different.
Yeah.
I might be someone who wouldn't be building what I'm building today, or I might be thinking about the world differently. So all the experiences, positive and negatives, have brought me to this place today, and I wouldn't want to change that. So just keep the course.